All right, so we've got a Pinanga disticha. It is a dwarf palm, and it gets around 4 feet. Some people say 7 feet, but it's relatively small palm and nice mottled leaves. The mature leaves, so the smaller smaller leaves at the bottom of the base of the plant are just a single divide here, but then as you get the more mature leaves, they tend to split a little bit more, which I think is common for these miniature palms. Anyway, it is outgrowing its pots. We're going to repot it and maybe see if we can divide it. I've never divided this type of plant before, so we're going to pull it out and see what it looks like and how easy it might be. As I'm looking at it, I'm looking for signs of pests. There seems to be maybe a few mealybugs here and there. That I've had some issues with mealybugs on some other plants. We're just going to kind of ease it out of the pot and see how bound it is. So not too bad. I think it is ready for a repot though. I don't want to disturb too much because again, I'm not too familiar with this plant and how much it likes or dislikes being mucked with. And as far as dividing it, I see a couple places where I could potentially split it, but again, I'm not too familiar with this plant and I don't know how easily it takes to being divided. So I would so this guy's right here has some roots coming out and it looks like it's naturally coming out. It's got plenty of roots. I would split it here if I was going to divide it. I think that would work pretty well. And I'm going to go ahead and leave everything intact. I'm going to try and break up these roots a little bit because they start swirling, and that can lead to problems down the road. I'm just going to try to untangle them a bit. And I'm going to go from this size, which is I think about a 10-inch, to a wider, not much deeper, but wider, because this thing wants to spread out, and the roots don't go that terribly deep. So I'm not gonna disturb it too much, but I'll just set it in there. And I've got my soil mix, which is basically some regular potting soil mixed with extra perlite for drainage and cocoa husks and peat. So again, you want it to be well draining, but you want it to be able to hold moisture as well. And this is kind of my standard tropical mix. I do tend to change it every time I make it, depending on what I have on hand. If you have charcoal, you can put some charcoal in there. I do have some orchid bark in there as well. And once we've got it in there, just want to make sure that there's no big air pockets. That was relatively painless. And this will give it some room to spread out and hopefully last a few more years. And I'll continue to watch it for pests. You can see a little flower. It flowered there, and I didn't even notice. All right, perfect. The last step, one, plant is kind of leaning, so I might stake it. If I can't just kind of pack some of this soil. Water it in real good. And I see some exposed roots. And add some more soil, try and cover those up. I think that looks pretty good.